All right, so you should have out your 3-8 notes. We are ready for part 2 of 8-3. So if you'll turn to the 3rd page. What they want you to do for each of those 4 graphs is they want you to write an equation for each line, okay? So as you can see on all 4 of these graphs, there's a solid line and there's a dashed line. So we're going to write the equation for both of those lines. So I'll do the first one with you, and then what I want you to do after that is pause the video and do the other 3 on your own, and then come back and check your answers. Okay? So on this first one, I'm going to start with the solid line. As you can tell, these are translations of each other. Okay? So this solid line, it starts at 1.5. So that's the vertical intercept. So for that one, that's going to be my B, right? So my B value is 1.5 or 1.5. So now I need the M. I need the slope. So I can calculate the slope by using my 2 points. So this is 0 and 1.5, and this is 0.5 and 2.5. So I can do the math. 2.5 minus 1.5 over 0.5 minus 0. So I get 1 over 0.5. Guys, you have to divide this. 1 divided by 0.5 is 2. So that means the slope of that line is 2. Remember, we write equations in y equals mx plus b, where b is our vertical intercept and m is our slope. So the equation for the solid line is going to be y equals 2x plus 1.5. Guys, since these are translations of each other, they should have the same slope. If you think back to Diego's problem, no matter if he had $0 saved or $30 saved in his bank account, he still made $10 per hour. So each of those, since they're a translation, they should have the same slope. So the slope of this dashed line or dotted line is still going to be 2. And the y-intercept, the vertical intercept, or the b value, is 0. So we have y equals 2x plus 0, which is the same thing as y equals 2x. So you're just writing the equations for both the dashed and the dotted line of each of these 3. Okay? Now I should see some work on how you found the slope. Okay? So what I want you to do is I want you to pause the video and I want you to find the solid lines equation and the dashed lines equation for each of these 3, and then come back and play the video to see if you are correct. So I want you to do that on your own and then come back and see if you are correct. Remember, you have a worksheet to do after this, and then we're going to have the open note quiz tomorrow, so you need to know how to do this. All right, so if we're writing the solid equation for this second one, we should have got y equals 2x minus 3. For the dash, we should have got y equals 2x or y equals 2x plus 0. For this third one, for the solid line, we should have got y equals 1/3 x plus 1. And for the dash, we should have got y equals 1/3 x. Or x plus 0. On the last one, and then on the last one for the solid line, you should get y equals 1/2 x minus 4. And for the dashed, you should get y equals 1/2 x plus 0, or just y equals 1/2 x. Okay, you should start to see a theme on these translated lines. They're always going to have, if they're running parallel and they're translated, they're always going to have the same slope. They're just going to have different vertical intercepts. All right, when you're done with that, flip over to the back part, okay? And all this is basically just reiterating the point, okay? So it says, during an early winter storm, the snow fell at a rate of 1/2 inch per hour, and they want us to write the equation for it. So I need the vertical intercept, okay? So it doesn't look like they start with any snow, so 0. And then for my slope, I have 1 minus 0 over 2 minus 0, which is 1/2. So my equation would be y equals 1/2 x. So however many hours it's been snowing, I would get another 1/2 inch. And that's what that says in our example. Then the second one says, during a midwinter storm, the snow again fell at a rate of 1/2 inch per hour. But this time there was already 5 inches of snow on the ground. So this is the original line, the same one from part A. And then look, it just translated up 5, because now for this snowstorm, we have 5 inches already, and then we get 1/2 inch per hour. So our slope is still going to be 1/2 inch per hour, but our starting point before it starts snowing is going to be 5. So we already have 5 inches, and we're adding 1/2 inch per hour. Now there's a few key takeaways, and notice we don't have any fill in the blanks here or anything, but we are going to write a few things down, okay? So for translated lines, okay, remember they're going to be parallel, but they will always have the same slope, but they will always have different vertical intercepts. So the same M values, but different B values. Okay. All right, when you are done taking the notes, okay, you need to raise your hand and show the sub your completed notes, and they will get you your next thing that you need to be working on. Please remember that we will have a quiz over 8-7 and 8-8, or sorry, 3-7 and 3-8 tomorrow.